Greeting, brothers and sisters, those who have and have not made it, those who will make it. Today, we're still talking about building up the Black community. And in order to understand where we've come from, we have to be familiar with our past. I want to take time to, as you can see, I didn't get a chance to catch that third shave. So I have a slight shadow, just a slight shadow. And that's all right. We're going to get it together, and I want to make sure that I have all that done. But we want to talk about today the bombing of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I think that's very important because we have lost, and this is not going to be a very long show today. But I want to talk about it. I think we should cover this where we are. I think this is something that we should cover. We have lost a major metropolis. We've lost it. And we lost it because we didn't have an army. We never had it. And it's important for us, very important, that we have armies to protect our investment. It's necessary. It's necessary, very, very necessary. And when we don't have armies or anything to protect our investment, then everything that we do is doomed. Everything that we do is doomed. So I want to talk about that just a little bit. Having armies to protect our investment. We'll talk about the history of Tulsa, Oklahoma, because this itself is an important history. And whether you know it or not, whether you accept it or not, things will never get better for us, you and I, until we have taken the steps that our enemies have taken. And the step that our enemies have taken is investing in slavery. And once they invested in slavery, then after they invested, they began to protect that investment. And that's what you and I have to do. We have to protect it. And so there's nothing I can say that you don't know about Tulsa, Oklahoma. There's nothing I can say about it. But I will tell you this. I tell you that Tulsa, Oklahoma is possible. It's possible if we'll stand up, if we'll, we can reclaim it. If we stand up and if we have an army, you'll reclaim it. But you won't reclaim it without an army. There's no way. It won't happen. So you're gonna need an army. And that's very, very, very important for you to know. You're gonna need an army. Now, there were other successful cities, black cities that were destroyed. There were many successful black cities that were destroyed. And the reason they were destroyed is because the slaves, or the blacks, the free blacks, and the slaves, or ex-slaves, I should say that, had not yet accepted the fact that they were in a revolution. Because had they accepted the fact that they were in a revolution, that they would have had an army to back up their economic progress, would have had an army to back up their religious progress, an army to back up their social progress. They would have had it. And they made those mistakes, same mistakes that our ancestors made when they allowed the invader to come inside of our community. And in so many instances have their way, because this is what they did. They had their way, And they did whatever they wanted to do against you and I. They used you and I to make a massive, massive investment in human stock. Human stock. And today they call it human trafficking, but America is the biggest human trafficker that this world has ever seen, and the oldest human trafficker this world has ever seen, because slavery was nothing more than human traffic, human cattleism, the term chattel. And not only that, but the biggest victim of these evil practices is the black man. In 1865, opposed, and even, excuse me, brothers and sisters, and even prior to that, but the Zeitgeist, or the zenith of this suffering, the zenith of it happened then. And we have to know that from the 1400s, really 1397, when they decided to stop fighting each other and come together. Then in the 1400s, they began to plot how they would, after the correlation, be able to survive. So initially, the European tried planting. He tried reaping what he planted. He was not successful at it because his environment didn't support planting or reaping. It was too stony, and he wasn't willing to do the work to make it industrious as far as the farming is concerned, or as far as the system of farming was concerned. In so many instances, the white man was lazy. He wasn't going to do that. There's no way he was going to do it. So he put you and I in a position. Where here we were, master farmers, master energy grabbers, the use of solar energy and electrical energy in Africa. There are many that are doing it today. And so they employed us. I say employed us, or questioned us, or researched us, or studied us to see what kind of people we were. Because they knew we outnumbered them and were actually stronger. So they couldn't invade us by fighting, because that would make us fight back. So what they did was they found out what kind of people we were. Our law says don't be the aggressor, right? It tells us to not kill. Right? Thou shalt not kill. Right? But the law of an eye for an eye is in full effect, so we can kill. We can kill as long as, and this is important for us to understand, as long as someone has offended us, we have to wait for them to offend us. That's our law. It's the law of black people today. It's our law. So they decided that the best way for them to go to war with us, because they wouldn't have won just coming out for outright war, because they tried that in Carthage. They tried that. The history of Carthage. And you have to know it. This is how you know that this land is not very old. And I'm talking about England and all the rest. It's not very old. Those areas were established somewhere around 1049 BC. The white people in those areas began to come out of the caves in the 1649 BC. And they would visit what they call the earthly kingdoms, above kingdoms, or what they call heaven, because it was above them. They were coming out of ground, going to these areas. They describe it as heaven. You have to know that. And when you understand this, you understand why they'll keep fighting till they get what we got, even though they don't know how to reserve it. They'll keep fighting for it because they don't know how to mimic it. They don't know how to do the things that we do. And even with much, they still don't know how to use it to survive. So when they fail, that's why they normally commit suicide. They can't go back to where they were. They know who they are. They know where they come from. They know what they had to endure. But they can't go back. They're not willing to go back. And I don't blame them. Because if I was as much a beast as a white man, I wouldn't go back either. And I found some fool that was willing to take care of me, that wasn't going to fight to have any justice, I wouldn't do it either. Personally speaking, I wouldn't do it either. So this is very important for you to understand. You have to know it. You have to know it, because one thing the white man knows is history, because he makes an investment in it. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Peace, Sister Donna. Peace, Brother Demetrius. And peace, Brother Black Seminole. And this white Aborigine, and you have to call him that because one of the first white that surfaced in Africa was after the Platonic War. They were always around, but I'm saying surface was after the Platonic War of, what was it? Platonic War of 300,000 BC. This is when they first surfaced. And then after which the latter version of that millennium, the latter version of that millennium where they first came out, then they began to mimic those societies. But they had to always go back, talk about what they learned, and go back. Because they couldn't exist in those societies, couldn't exist in that climate. They didn't have the technology nor the engineering to do so. Nor did they listen to the science that they had been trained. All the message, all the power had been lost. So they couldn't go back to retrieve it because their forefathers had given up on it based on the climate, based on the temperature, and based on their own history. They couldn't survive in these warm climates. So they needed to be in a place that was constant, and they could go to the mountains. The mountain was constant. They could build fire, which the African giant Prometheus gave to them. This is an African giant, Prometheus, gave them that so that they'll be able to they would be able to survive. Now, a lot of people don't believe in giants, but I want you to go and research giants at the Smithsonian. I'm gonna type this in, and it's called Giants at the Smithsonian. I want you to go and look at this so that you'll see it. And these were black giants. They were black. There was no such thing as a white giant. These giants were black. Now, when they started grafting, when man started mating with these giants, then you get white giants. You get white giants after that. And they're not really white giants, but they're albino. But the taller and the aboriginal giant or the original giant were black. So when you look up giants at the Smithsonian, you will see. Because see, the white man, he made you think the giants were a myth. Because they worked on your side to protect the earth and to protect you, holy people of God. This is the truth. You don't have to make it up. It's there. Even in the Bible. I believe it's in Genesis. I think it's the second Genesis. No, not Genesis. It's in Numbers. The second chapter, I believe, in Numbers. And you can research that to be certain that I'm true. that the brother is not in error, but it is in the Bible. I believe it's in the book of Numbers. I believe so. Where they started seeing these giants, and they called that the sons of God began to mate with the daughters of men. Who are the sons of God? You and I. We are the sons of God. We are the sons of God. Sons of God. So if you look in the Bible, I believe it's in the book of Numbers, and I'll type this in there so you have it. It's important that you know these things. Search for giants. I'm going to put that in there. Search for giants in the book of Numbers. And that's in the Old Testament. So they couldn't keep it away from you. Put KJV, Old Testament. They couldn't keep it away from you. So they said, well, we'll make it a myth. And there are many black people who believe this. Why am I going over this? Because our subject is about Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? I'm going over this because it'll set a foundation for what I'm about to tell you. A defense foundation. That you as black people, before there was any mention of the white man, you as black people received the knowledge. God had told you to not mate with foreign people. Our angelics that were here to protect us, once you compromise by not following these laws, you put them in danger. Many of them fought for you and fought to keep your borders free, and they were killed. You hear some of them described as angels that protected the Garden of Eden. Another plane on the earth. You don't believe that, though. I know you don't. It's true. That was devoid of any kind of white interaction. There's no white people there. The white man is violent. Cain, the killer of Abel, Cain, the killer, is the father of the white people. He's father of the white people. And they were very nomadic. They didn't have a place to go. And the only thing they knew was murder. And they knew so much murder that they murdered each other first. Before they came over to start killing us, because they'd almost wiped each other completely out. So before they came over to kill us united, they were wiping each other out. If you look, and history always repeats itself, because if you look today, when they don't have any interest, to grab, and the jig is up, you'll see they'll start fighting each other again. Look at Russia. Just look at Russia. And I don't get sad when the white man is fighting each other. It doesn't make me sad, because it just lets me know that there's hope. Now, anybody with any sense knows that if you have a threat, you're going to need an army. I'm just saying. And I want you to follow me in this, because we talk about liberation, but we won't draw blood to get liberation. God saw that we needed protection ourselves. He saw that we needed instruction. He saw that we needed protection. He saw that we needed direction, right? He saw that we needed all of these things. God saw that we needed these things. But brothers and sisters, today, you and I, today, don't have any protection. None whatsoever. Today, we have no protection. How are we going to build a formidable city and kingdoms? And we'll have kingdoms here in America. It's written that we will have kingdoms, that we will literally have kingdoms, and that there will be mansions, right? That's in the history of our heaven, that there will be mansions, right? Cattle on 1,000 hills, that there will be mansions. I go away to what? Prepare a place for you. Not just a spiritual place, because that's already done. When you're dead, you're done. But a physical place. A physical place where you and I, in this physical place could have land, could have housing that we didn't build with our own hand. This is prophecy. That we would have cattle on 1,000 hills. That we would have everything that God has blessed us, promised us with. Why? Because when he take this enemy out, right? When he remove our enemy, then we'll have these things because it was promised. This was a promise of God. In our own strength, we can build these things, but until we build an army to protect it, because we believe in God, and I tell you how simple this is. This is why the white man don't want you believing in God. Because he's already promised us through our history, which is the Bible, the Quran, and all religious teachings in the world, about other kingdoms and things like that. He tells us, you and I, that we are going to inherit, right? Inherit the kingdom of God. We're going to inherit it. Why? Because it is the prophecy of he who was sent by God, right? And our Savior has come. So he told us what God's plan is. And when it was happening, when you saw the message to the black man going out and it was happening, we were building up our businesses. Prior to that, not just the message that Muhammad carried, but the message to the black man that stand in the liberty that you have been made free. This was being taught. The same thing the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was teaching was being taught way back. Even prior to coming out of slavery, these lessons was being taught. When we were in Africa, we were building kingdoms. People would leave, go to an area and build kingdoms. Leave, go to another area and build kingdoms, and successful kingdoms. Successful. Why? Because we are people of God. We belong to God. He is our God and we are his people. So when I tell you, brothers and sisters, that God has promised us in this time that we will have treasures shaken down, pressed together, running over, with men also giving our bosom, I'm saying it because God says it, God declares it. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. God declares that we should have these things. Now, if he told Israel to get an army, I'm talking about black Israel. I'm not talking about the present Israelite because they're not the real Israelites. If he told them to get an army, what do you think he's telling us? Because are we not Israelians as well? The true Israelian? Are we not the true Jews that the scripture was talking about? Isn't the 400-year bondage in Egypt also a foretelling of what we would go through here in this country? So, brothers and sisters, we have to have understanding of what God wants and what God's word is. We got to have understanding of it. If we don't have it, we're finished. If we don't have it. Now, this economy, the way that it is going to kill the white man's stock. Is that right? It's going to kill his present stock, the things that are made and all of that. Why? Because the inflation is greater than the intake. The tax on the market is greater than the intake. What does that mean for us? That when the white man businesses start crumbling down, all we have to do is step away and stop working his businesses and start opening our own. If you have a Walmart that's suffering and you keep supporting it, it's going to die slowly. But if it's suffering and you stop supporting it altogether, once you build up your own store, you got to build up your own store so you got a place to go. You can't just do this and not have any food. We got to build a black mark. He's got a white mark. We got to build a black mark. He's got Wally World. We got to have Bali World. We got to have our own. And once we have our own, and once we start building up our own, then we'll see that his market will continue to crash. We'll see that. We'll witness his market crashing. We'll do it. And it will crash overnight. If it happens that way, it will literally crash overnight. So it's important that you and I know these things. Why is it important? It's important because we'll start working now. The minute that we know it, will start working now to make real these promises of what God has given us. When they bombed Tulsa, Oklahoma, brothers and sisters, and burned it down and came in shooting people, I mean, white people came in shooting black people like it was out of style. And they did the same thing in Elaine. They did the same thing in Cumberland, Alabama. They did all of these everywhere that there's a state. You had black businesses. I want you to research this. Black businesses being destroyed from the 1900s. The very first one that was burned out happened in 1857. And after that, they were burning. You heard, we didn't have press like we had today, so I'm sure there were many black towns being burned. But the first one you heard of was 1857. Then after that, they continued to burn them because they couldn't get black people to serve as sharecroppers because black people wanted pay. And they wanted to be paid in land, and they wanted to be paid in houses. So after they knew that they couldn't control the black man because he was free, if you don't treat me right, I'll leave. That's what freedom is. Physical freedom. Physical freedom. And instead of letting them leave, they started to burn their town and kill them. Right? That's the white man. Then he went to a second phase where, okay, we can work in this co-op, but I'm going to pay you some money and you're going to give me some labor. So they started giving them decent pay, but not enough pay. If I'm doing all the work, then I want the pay that I'm going to get. So black people started saying, hey, this is not enough money. And the minute he started saying, hey, this is not enough money, then the white man got angry because he felt that the black man should have been talking to him about what was enough because, hey, you just came out of slavery. You understand me? You just came out of slavery, so how could you even be talking to me this way? You don't have any right to talk to me this way. They were protecting white privilege. Isn't that right? Protecting white privilege. So why are you even talking to me this way? How dare you to even talk to me this way? They protected white privilege. Huh? And they killed to protect white privilege because white privilege is equivalent to racism. Right? Had we had an army, those towns wouldn't have been shot up. Those people wouldn't have been shot up. You would have had some dead white people. Huh? Dead white and black people, most likely. But at least you had some blacks that would have fought back. And nobody will fight for their freedom more than a person who loves it. He who loves his freedom the most will fight for it. He who loves control the most will fight for it. He who loves his system the most will fight for it. Why don't you fight for your community? Why don't you fight for your system of control? Why don't you fight for your system of aggression? Because you don't love yourself. You don't love yourself. You don't love your people enough to shed blood. You'll go to the army, the white man's army. I did it. I was that dumb. And you'll fight for the enemy. Right? Isn't that right? And not get anything back from it except cancer and all these other things we come back with, diseases once we went to the war and fight. A war that not many white people were even forced in, even though they was in the military. They didn't go. They got recognition for going, but they didn't go. You and I went, we fought, and we come back, still don't get no respect, and you're just a nigga in uniform. Well, I appreciate your service. It's almost like mockery when they say that, right? But he hired you in to protect his interests. I hope you see where I'm going with this. He hired you to protect his interests. He had police to protect his interests on a local scale. He had the National Guard to protect his interests on a state scale. And he had the federal military to protect his interests on the international national scale. And then he had the USARA and NATO to protect his interests on the international scale. But whatever he builds, he's willing to protect his interests. It's you that not willing to protect your interests of whatever you build. And so because you're not willing to protect your interests of whatever you build, then the man come and can destroy what you built and he has no consequences. None whatsoever. I hope you're all right. I hope you're all right out there. And so we've got to understand that our interest is worth fighting for. that our interest is what we aim to protect. If not, we'll end up like Tulsa, Oklahoma. We'll end up just like Tulsa, Oklahoma. And what we once enjoyed, what we once had interest in, we'll no longer have it. And that's what the white man is fighting today. When you see him fighting for politics, when you see him doing all these fighting, he's fighting because he wants to make America great in oppression again. Isn't that right? Isn't that what Donald Trump said? Make America great again? What did he mean? What did he mean when he said make America great again? He meant make America racist again so that he could assume power. If we do that, then the white man could assume power. Because he knows that we're sleeping. I don't know why. I don't know why we're sleeping in this dangerous time. I really don't. And we won't even question what's going on. We won't do it. I don't understand it. Because if I did understand it, I wouldn't be talking to you about it. So I definitely don't understand it. But I do know one thing. If we don't start protecting our interests, we're not going to have any interest. If we don't start protecting it. And our interest is what we should aim to protect. Our interest. So we have, they say the Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah, that's part of it. That's part of it. But the other part is that we are in so much fear. It's a shame that we're in that much fear that we'll let the white man come in our community to do anything. He can even set up stores and know that he's going to make money in our community. The same one that's killing us can set up stores in our community. And you have to act and question that. That why would the white man feel safe in your community? I've heard people ask that question. And I'll dare to answer it. I'll dare to answer it. I've heard people say, how does the white man feel safe in our community? Well, the white man can come in your community, he can kill you, he can beat you, and all of that. He don't have any consequences. No consequences at all. And it's crazy. I watch it and it's just, it's so wild that he himself has no consequences for his actions. None whatsoever. Until you start building up an army. But he didn't caught on to that gig because even the black nationalist organizations that we thought that they were aggressive and ruthless when they had to be are not what we thought they were. Besides, I've told you before, brothers and sisters, we have to know that the white man, because remember, you're in hell. You're in an American hell. Remember that. You think you're free, and that's the problem. I was just having a conversation today, and you're not free. The black man, it has to be explained. It just has to be explained, and it's painful that you got to fight against your own people to get the truth out. You're not free. You and I are not free. We're fighting to get free, but we're not free. Our brother says, Black Seminole says, he's a coward. Yes, the black man is a coward. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. Brother, you're right. I hate to say it, but it's so true. We'll kill each other. A white man could be running between us as we shoot each other, and both of us apologize to him as we're killing one another. That's the truth. It's a shame. Now, brother said, I meant the white man. Well, yes, the white man is a coward. The white man is a coward. And I think that both of us are cowards in the one sense, is that we're cowards because we won't stand up against the one causing us all this trouble, right? Not as a group. We got some people that will stand. Understand what I'm saying? Some that will stand, but the white man is even taking care of that because he'll find fake revolutionaries. I call them frevolutionaries. Frevolutionaries, fake revolutionaries who will not stand up against anything, but they'll kill you and I. They will. They'll harass you and I. And Brother Taharka does a good job, great job of showing us examples of these. He does a great job handling them. That's a fact. And I appreciate his show because of that. But we're cowards too. We're cowards too. The white man is certainly a coward. That's why he gangs up on you. Only a coward would gang up on you. So he's certainly a coward, but I'm saying we are cowards too. I don't like saying it. I mean, our black women are disrespected by white men every day. Every day. It's a time to kill a white man when he disrespects your woman. There's no other reason as urgent as him disrespecting your woman and disrespecting your child. No other reason urgent. When he does that, it's lights out. It is lights out. And I've been trying to get brothers to understand this, but they'd rather fight and fuss with me. You know, just like on Facebook. Just like on Facebook. You're right, brother. Greeting, Brother Clarence. You're right. They're not ready for that truth. They're not ready for it. If you look on Facebook, I'm getting on Farrakhan for letting these white Muslims inside of the Nation of Islam. I tell him he's not teaching Muhammad's teaching. And you got black brothers that will come against me. Black Muslims that will threaten me over white men. Will threaten me. They said, well, you can tell he was Native American. Somebody has gotten in there and some European, and now he has Native American features. And according to the white Indian, he says Indian. I see there's so many white people claiming to be Indian until I'm dizzy from it. I mean, they'll lie. They'll say that they're black. They'll say that they're Indian. They'll say that they're Spanish and whatever else. They'll declare it. But even if he's an Indian, he's a white Indian. And he's white. So I can't trust that. Because you and I both know that the Native American is not white. Not the real one. If he's a white Mexican, I don't trust it. If he's a white Asian, I don't trust you. Is that right? If he's a white European, I don't trust you. That's right, Black Seminole, a $5 Indian. $5. Our brother Clarence said they're not ready for that truth. Our people are not ready for it. They're not ready. That's true. That's true. And you go to talking about it, and you got black Muslims paying homage to white Muslims. And the word just don't go together. It's an oxymoron. But you got black Muslims that are under white Muslims. Farrakhan has put white people over our black brothers. What message, brothers and sisters, do you think that is sending? I'm just asking. What message is it sending if these people are allowed to come in a black organization and hold posts over black people? Is that not mental oppression? Is that not slavery all over again? I mean, am I missing something? And they fuss with me all day. I mean, this post that I put up, if you go over on Facebook, it's crazy. It's crazy. Black men defending white people. I told you we're sick. I told you that. All of us are suffering from manic aggressive personality disorder. Every last one of us. The only difference is that there are those of us that will admit it. And we know that the only therapy we can get to overcome this is to love black people, marry black women, produce black kids, or rather children, excuse me, brothers and sisters, because we don't believe in kids, those are goats. But have black children and have these children to reproduce. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, brothers and sisters, thumbs up, please. We can use all the help we can get. We're rising. Right now we have 380 subscribers. So I'm very happy about that because that means we only have 620 subscribers to go. And then we'll have met our rather 720 subscribers to go, and we will have met our goal. But Brother Clarence says they're the ones that have been bamboozled and hoodwinked. That's true. Well, Farrakhan is the biggest perpetrator of this fraud. Biggest one. And it's strange because he was there when the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad got sick, he was around. When Minister Malcolm got shot, he was close. When Dr. Khalid got shot, he was connected. And when Reverend Albert B. Cleage was killed, Farrakhan wasn't far away. I mean, the same man, you think just because he's gotten old that you should feel sorry for him? My God. I mean, this man has done such a snow job until black Muslims are seeing a white Catholic pedophilic priest sit in his company, visit him at his home. And these dumb, ignorant, black, hoodwinked, bamboozled fools are still saying that Farrakhan is the standard. That's true charm, brothers and sisters. That's true charm. So we can't even get to building up, rebuilding Tulsa and rebuilding New York and rebuilding Atlanta, black, rebuilding Chocolate City in D.C., rebuilding the place of hope in Philadelphia, a true place of black brotherly love. We can't even get a chance to rebuild these places. Rebuild Prince George County, Maryland, and Temple Hills into wonderful, powerful black business districts. Rebuild Alabama, Birmingham, and Cumberland. Rebuild Atlanta, Georgia, Peachtree District, and all of that. We can't even do it. We can't even do it. Why? Because we don't even know at this late date, can't even say in unison at this late date that we are in danger as black people with this false teaching from Minister Farrakhan. So we can't even build an army or have an agreement among ourselves that we need to protect our family. Our interest is our family. Our interest is our children. And we can't even do that. Why? Because we got a demon letting white devils inside of a temple that is supposed to be for the black man and distorting the message that is supposed to be for the black man and giving it to dogs. Isn't that what Jesus called the lady that had the issue of blood? She said, I desire to be healed, Master. He said, what did Jesus tell her? You got to listen to this. That's how I know Jesus was a brother. I know he was a brother. He had to be. He told her, he said, the food of the kingdom is not meant for dogs. Then in Philippians, Paul said, beware of dogs, beware of evil workers, beware of the concision. Now I want you to see that. What was a dog according to the church? What is a dog according to the people of God? A dog is a murderous, vicious, wild, untrusted beast. Isn't that right? And the white man is a two-legged dog, in many cases a four-legged dog. And he'll even hire, this to tell you, he'll hire his own kin. He'll take a dog and put a dog in police uniform and give him more rights than he give you. If you shoot that dog, you could do life in prison without parole. This is the kind of animal he is. But yet you can shoot black cops all day. As a matter of fact, they kill black policemen like it's going out of style. White people do. White people kill and disrespect them. If you look in the Capitol, nation's capital, when they overran it, they were fighting black policemen, literally fighting them tooth and nail, fighting them, taking them out. And they won't even, the White House won't even admit the amount of deaths that they had. They said, well, we had one girl to die. Everybody else seems to be all right. No, they had black policemen to get killed. They had white policemen to commit suicide. But they only tell you about the white people that committed suicide. What does that tell you? What do they feel about their black policemen? That's the white man. These are the people, the kind of mindset that Farrakhan is letting inside of the temple, and he's saying it, well, Muhammad, they're trying to justify it. They're trying to justify it. I'm going to read something to you to let you see what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad says about white people. So they'll tell you that well, Muhammad said that some white people are they're gonna survive, that there'll be a remnant. Yeah, he said there'll be a remnant, and that we will remember them. And the trouble that they've caused us, it will be a constant reminder to not trust these people. That's what he meant. He continued to call the white man the devil. He never told us to stop calling them devils. It's Farrakhan that created that lie. He created that lie. It's crazy. Brother Clarence says, I want to see who's going to take over after Farrakhan. Well, Ismail Muhammad is in the line to take over after Minister Farrakhan. But then they say that Mustafa Muhammad is the heir apparent of Minister Farrakhan, and I've listened to Mustafa speak. So if he takes over, we ain't got long to wait, because we ain't got to worry about getting them out of the way, and we don't have to worry about the white man getting them out of the way, because he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it anyway. He's already been done, because Farrakhan is putting them inside. It's inside the garden that the snake could do most harm. You don't hear me? I said it's in the garden that the snake can do the most harm. Black Seminole said Farrakhan needs to be stopped, brother. He's aged right now. He's so old, and they keep him up in front of you. They only let him speak every now and then on his good days. But he's so old, you ain't even got to worry about that. What we do have to worry about is dealing with these Muslims that are teaching that Muhammad said that white people belong in the temple. That's what we got to worry about. But Farrakhan is really old. He on his last leg now, as we speak. As we speak. And I don't care how many merits they give him to keep jump-starting him. Pretty soon, that stuff's going to start working against him. You don't hear me. You don't hear me. Pretty soon, it's going to start working against him. You know, I like Farrakhan. I love Farrakhan, and I do. But I can't accept these teachings that he have, brother. You can't rebuke a man unless you love him. Open rebuke is better than secret love. So you can rebuke a man and love him and not harm him. You can rebuke him. But Farrakhan, he believes in the white man form of vengeance and jealousy and envy, proof of which he had Minister Malcolm killed. He was around when they poisoned the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but him and Wallace Ward-Dean Muhammad got a chance to split the Nation of Islam. He was around when they killed the other minister, and I can't think of his name, that was powerful, believing and teaching in the Nation of Islam. He was around when they killed Dr. Khalid Muhammad. James Best shot Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Farrakhan knew about it, wouldn't even visit Dr. Muhammad in the hospital. What does that tell you? I wish he had to start an army too. I wish that he had made a real stand against the oppressor without all these games. You marching in D.C., you ain't did no different than Martin Luther King did, and the results are the same. Well, even less. The results are even less, because at least Dr. King had some form of change, this integration thing he was talking about. But by 1965, he knew that was a bunch of BS. He knew it. Right? He said, I led my people into a burning house. Community of Chaos, that book, he said, where do we go from here? Community of Chaos. So he knew these things. He knew these things. And even in the Bible, it tells you to come out from among them, O ye my people. It tells you not to marry outside your race. The King James Bible say that. Right? And you got white people that'll say that they're black. The girl Rachel, what's her last name? The girl that in the NAACP, I keep going back to her because this lady dunked herself in man tan and car soot. Huh? Man tan and car soot out of the tailpipe to look black. To trick you and I. And we believe people so much that we didn't research it. We didn't even check it. Isn't that right? So we thought, well, maybe she's a light-skinned black woman. And instead of the brothers checking her out, they were trying to sleep with her. And you know, she probably slept with a whole lot of them. Because the Farrakhan Muslims, they don't care. They don't care. They'll sleep with these white women. And they're marrying white women, calling them their wives, saying that they're black. They're lying and say they have black parents. Do you check it? Nope. Won't check it. Farrakhan Muslim won't check it. Now, an Elijah Muslim gonna want to know. You ain't gonna get that stuff over on him. Right? But a Farrakhan Muslim, well, that's what they say. I'm not gonna check it, brother. Well, yeah, she may have so much percent of black in her, you know. And she got some black in her, all right, but it ain't her skin color. It's the black Negro that don't have any control. And instead of busing, pardon the expression, brothers and sisters, instead of releasing his gift, his blessing to our sisters, I'm going to say to her, then he'd rather do it in a white woman, get a child who don't know who they are, and they come in talking this peach talk. Yeah, that's what integration is. Integration was used by every kingdom that the white man set up for peace. Start talking this peace talk. Well, you know, we got a daughter that's black and white. We can't go along with this racist talk. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? We can't go along with that. We got to have some form of peace. Now, the white man will tell you that, right? And he'll turn around and shoot you on your head. As soon as you turn around, you ain't got even been doing it for thousands of years. You ain't got no sense. None whatsoever. Because you'll believe him today. You got to work on not believing the white man. You got to work on not believing it. And you got black Muslims. I know it's hard for you. Because you all thought the Farrakhan was real and dedicated. Right? So anytime you get somebody too militant, he said, we don't want to. He like some of them old sellouts. You know how they talk. You know how them old sellouts talk in our parents' day and our grandparents' day. We don't want to go too fast. I hate to see it. I hate to even say it. But them old folk, we don't want to go too fast. Now we won't take it too fast. You saying you don't want to go too fast, and the church has been in the same condition that it is, the same condition today that it's been in the past. And I'm telling you how to get even with the white man and to keep him out of your business, but don't you take us too fast. Now. You got to slow it down a little bit. Brothers and sisters, there's never a day like now. There's never been a day like now to build up our community and at the same time build up our defenses. We got an army. We got black gangs. We got lost and found Nation of Islam, black Muslims. Not a Farrakhan Muslim, Elijah Muslims. We got captains of the gangs. We got black brothers that are dealing drugs. They just misguided. They just don't know where to point the guns at. That's all. I mean, hell, if you're dealing in this community, do the best you can to defend it. We have that. Isn't that right? You got an army. You got an army. I don't get mad at young men for carrying weapons. You out of your mind. They need weapons. They got to defend themselves. The only thing I get upset about is where they're pointing those weapons. But isn't it up to us to organize them and direct them on what to do? That's our job. And if we do it, then God is with us. He's with us, brothers and sisters. He loves us. So if we build up another Tulsa, Oklahoma, we got to have an army to protect Tulsa, Oklahoma. You and I got to have an army to protect our interests. If wherever that Tulsa, Oklahoma is built up, if it's in Arkansas, we should have one there. What I want you to understand is that we had black businesses all over. We had black towns like Tulsa all over America. And if you'll research this, you'll know that it's true. Like Brother Seminoles said, how do we wake them up? We wake them up, brother, by doing this every night. I'm on a 30-day marathon where I'll be doing this every night. And then come August the 3rd, August the 4th, one of those days. And at that point, we'll start meeting 3 times a week, doing the same thing, fireside chat. And we get everybody, just try to reach one person every day to say, look, we're talking about something. You need to come on, listen to this show. We're talking about some real stuff. Because it's going to take all of us. We don't need one Tulsa, Oklahoma. In the past, Tulsa, Oklahoma was great because you had so many Tulsa, Oklahomas across America. So we need to rebuild them. Rebuild the black cities, the black business all across America, and bring up some armies after that to protect our interests. Well, we should have armies now, and we got them. I say again, the white man communicates with the mafia. Isn't that right? Don't the white man communicate with mafia? That's right, he does. You don't believe that? I'll prove it. When the mafia need prayer, it's the white priests that pray for the mafia. Isn't that right? When the white gangster need prayer, where does he go? He goes to the white priest. And the white priest prays for that gangster. When the white drug dealer needs somebody, he needs to talk to somebody, he needs to get it off. What does he do? He go to the white priest or he go to the white psychiatrist, right? To get stuff off his chest. Isn't that right? When the white pimp, when he needs to go somewhere, where does he go? He goes to the white priest. When the white pedophile needs to go somewhere, he go to the best pedophile on this planet, a Catholic priest. So all of them are connected, all of them are united. The white murderer, he goes to the priest too. He's killing you, but he go right there to the priest, and the priest tell him that you could be forgiven. So that should let you know that the white man God and the white man Jesus will tell him to kill you. Isn't that right? And if he kill you, kill his threat, he'll build up his society. But you and I, we won't go to the black preacher. Instead, we'll talk about it. Yeah, you got some rotten ones out there. You got some rotten ones out there. Farrakhan is just one of them. He's just one of them. You got a lot of Wallace Muhammad was rotten. You have T.D. Jakes. He's rotten. Yeah, he don't care nothing about black people. He don't care nothing about black people. You got a lot of them out there. It's out there for that money. Al Sharpton. I look at him and the man looked normal when he had his natural weight. Now he's got a little body and a big head. I mean, his head weighs at least 20 pounds, 30, maybe 40, 50 pounds. He lost all that weight, got a lap band, and lost all that weight, and he run around here talking about forgive with his process tight. He has his process. You'll never see him without that process being straight. His process is straight. He run around here telling you to forgive. Forgive. We got to learn to come together. We've got to unite. We can't keep killing one another. I mean, here the white man is crazy. Here the white man is killing you, and he running around telling you and me that we got to stop running around killing each other. This is a trick. Farrakhan does it too. All the agents do it. They say, well, black people killing more people than anybody. All the ignorant people do it. I tell them, I said, don't you got enough sense to know that the white man is publishing the killing? He published the black man killing, but when in fact the white man is killing more of his own people through drugs, through opioids, through illicit sex, through homosexuality, the LGBT. They're not even producing anymore. So who's killing each other faster? The biggest game going. I mean, it is a shame. And we take it hook, line, and sinker. They bombed Tulsa. We didn't even have an army to fight back. And you know, that says a lot about us. That here we are coming out of slavery. Around that time, slavery had been less than 70 years old. We had Tulsa, Oklahoma, a mighty, mighty place. Didn't have no army. There were black police in Tulsa during the time of Garvey. He had all of these black security. Didn't have an army or a gun at first. And he trusted white devils to believe that they will allow him to gain power like that. It is indeed a shame, brothers and sisters. It is indeed a shame. So you and I, we got some work to do. We got to build up armies. We got to build up security to protect our interests. What is our interest? Each other. Each other. We got to reach one, teach one, and we've got to build it up. We won't get it if we don't build it up. You got to be willing to invest. Brothers and sisters, I'm not going to tarry long with you because I'm enjoying it. The message has been out. I just want to show you, read to you one of the things that, and you can go on the Facebook page to see this. You can go on it to see this, but I just want to show you or read one of the things that Minister Farrakhan's Muslim said. That his Muslim said. Because this is crazy. It's really crazy. And then they pumped up this white devil to say something. He had the nerve to ask me to move it off the page. Move the fact that he's a devil off my page. And then, because I called him a devil, they put me on 24-hour suspension. But I just want to show you this. I mean, it's crazy. It is crazy. This white devil, his name is, he called himself Manuel Ali Rashad Muhammad. A white devil now, who's really Mexican or Native American or white man, white Mexican or white Native American. I said, message to the black man is meant only for black people. Minister Farrakhan has deviated completely in the teachings of Master Fard Muhammad and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. White people are now able to join his version, that's Farrakhan's version of the Nation of Islam. This is completely heresy. This devil show his picture with this black Muslim, a white devil taking a picture with a black Muslim. I mean, it's crazy. It's almost like a white man taking a picture with his dog. Because that's the way they see us. They see us as dogs. And I got 109 comments. 109 comments of black people trying to defend this man. One brother said, that dude might be mixed with European, but he is from the tribes. He's not mixed with European. He is European. So I answer him, brothers and sisters. You know I have to say something. You know I got to say something. So I tell him, I said, listen, a lot of them don't like to hear the truth. Elijah Muhammad said that the white man cannot be saved. The only one running around here trying to save these white people is Louis Farrakhan. He's the only one. The only one running around here trying to save these people is Louis Farrakhan. Then you got guys saying, oh, you need to be careful, brother. Like what you make, that's supposed to be a threat. When they say that, it's supposed to be a threat. You ought to be careful, brother. Know what I'm saying? Hell, I've never said anything that I didn't want to say and calculated. I've never said anything I've never calculated. They tell me that I'm, like I'm not ready to die. Well, every day is a good day to die. But hell, if I die, I'm not going alone. If I die, I'm going to take out every last one of them that's coming for me. I might as well be honest about it. I don't have any fear here. And I'll be saying it till the day I die. That Farrakhan is a fraud, a fake, and a phony. It's a fact. So I tell this devil the supreme lessons to the lost and found black man. This is the supreme lesson by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And you can find this if you want. Can the devil be saved? This is the question that's asked. Muhammad answers no. Right? There is no salvation for the devil. You heard him say it. It's from his supreme lesson. Now, why would he go back on that? He and all those that follow him are doomed to eternal hellfire for eternity. No, the devil cannot be saved. This is most honorable Elijah Muhammad saying that. The only one that's saying that these devils can be saved and atoned is Minister Louis Farrakhan. Khalid Muhammad told him from 1993 to 2001, the day that he died, these devils cannot be saved. You will not save them. So the atonement, what did it do? He was trying to atone with the white man. Because while he was trying to atone to the white man, Minister Farrakhan would not even speak to Dr. Khalid Muhammad. A true Elijah Muslim. He wouldn't even speak to him. Brother Clarence said, I like Morris World TV, but they're not ready for the truth. They scared he might go to YouTube jail. Well, brother, I don't know. I don't know. I pray not, brother. I pray not. I pray, my desire and my prayer is that that's not the case. That's my desire. That's my prayer. And I pray that Allah, God, will rise up all of us that can make a difference. I think that it does great work pointing out a lot of the fakes. It does a great job, but we've got to move forward in talking about building up the black community, reestablishing the black business district in every state, every county, right, that black people are in, and making the black wealth, black economy, the way that it should be. We've got to start discussing that. We have to. Because if we don't, I don't care how many shows we have, it's not going to benefit us. Once we talk about the frauds, we got to move on. We got to move on and start talking about building up black armies to protect the black businesses that we build and protect the black interests. Our brother said, I see you be trying to educate the people over there. Oh, certainly. I'm trying to educate them everywhere I go. I won't even let them stick me into nobody, into going back and forth with black people. No, the truth is out there. We got to put out truth, and we got to be strong enough to let that truth, once we plant it as a seed, let it grow up and branch out into a mighty tree. And believe you me, brother, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But I do know one thing. With all of us, we can make a difference by meeting on here every night and grabbing someone else and making sure they meet with us every night, and to continue to subscribe till we get to the number that we need to get to and have the effect that we need to get to, so that we can have more people sponsoring this show and making sure that we're on. Because after August the 3rd, we'll be on I believe it's after August the 3rd, we'll be on 3 nights a week, where we'll be putting out this truth, and we'll be introducing business entrepreneurship training, and we'll be introducing finances, economy, talking economy, and literal investments of what we could do in our own home. I'm saying invest with yourself. Start a business out of your own home, and being able to branch that business to this virtual lending site where all of us will be able to benefit from these very teachings. I don't know, Leo Muhammad, he's over there where no one can touch him, but I find it strange. I always, anyone that's standing up, anyone is standing up. Leo Muhammad, out of all of them, is catching hell. He's catching hell. He is truthful to me, sister. To me, I think he is teaching the truth. Because anyone standing up like him and catching the hell he's teaching, they got to be teaching the truth. And most of the time, when you see somebody like that, when you see a brother like that, it won't be long till he find out the truth. When he find out the truth, all England is in trouble. He's catching hell. He's catching hell over there. And it's always the one that's out teaching the truth that catch hell. He's catching it. He's catching pure hell over there. But he's teaching the truth. I've listened to the brother, had the opportunity to meet him, and he's catching hell. He's catching hell. He's been in a long time. And the influence of Dr. Khalid Muhammad had a lot to do with that. So I pray for that brother, and I just pray that he stays strong. But he's definitely catching it. And that brother will come out in the park and preach and teach, because they're always destroying any place where he can meet. They're destroying it. He goes outside in the park to teach the truth, because the devils are riding his back like witches on a broom. But we pray that brother just stay strong, and pray his strength in God. And just pray. And anybody that's over there will have to learn. We got to learn how to have a system of support, brothers and sisters. That's why I'm trying to sell the books and sell products. Same way, Leo Muhammad and other people that are standing up for right, truth, and justice, they're trying to sell whatever they can make to make sure that you're getting something from it. That's why we're trying to sell it. When you have a true Muhammad Muslim, Elijah Muhammad, and Elijah Muslim, the white man ain't going to help us. Black people will see the white man not helping us, and black people won't help us either. Not those that have sold out. They won't do it. Because they don't want you to do anything to upset their white friends, to upset their white bosses, to accept their job. They don't want you to do it. They don't want you to do it. But when you support us, that means you're investing in yourself. You're investing in yourself. I wouldn't tell you to support any fraud. If he's a fraud, don't support him. But if you got somebody out there working for truth and trying to do what's right, you should support that. Because it's building up your community. So when we say the books are for sale and tell you to go to donate to our YouTube, it's because of something that we need to support the show. And I want to thank you all, because it's because of you. When my phone died, I didn't have a phone, and I'm doing this work. They come against us. They're trying to close the clinic, right? We got a short extension, but they're trying to close the clinic. The white man is trying to do everything. I don't hide my name. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? I'm no coward leader. I'm going to wear my name. I'm going to wear my regular name. Mauricelm is my name. I'm going to wear it no matter where I am. I'm still going to stand up for truth. Hell, you got people being killed and not doing anything. Breonna Taylor wasn't standing up telling the truth when she was killed. The devil just walked in the house and killed her. Had a shootout with her husband. That's suspect. Right? George Floyd. He wasn't doing that. Wasn't doing nothing but trying to get him something to eat. Man killed him over him getting something to eat, and what may have been a faulty $20 bill. So what? The store owner could have easily told him not to come back. Problem solved. So we got to get wise. We got to get wise, brothers and sisters, and support our people that are standing out. You got to support them. There's no way that we can get the word out ourselves. It's not fair for us to get the word out and make sacrifices and not know that our brothers and sisters are not behind us. We support a lot of foolish shows. I mean, they talk about everything. I look, I see shows that are just foolish, and we run toward it. Let's start supporting some serious shows that are teaching to invest in our community and telling you to open your own business. I don't care if you're selling shoestrings. Make them the best shoestrings that anybody can find. These shoestrings will match any shoe that you put on. Yeah, make it good. Make it good so that the people are getting something. Isn't that right? So that's why I ask y'all to support. I don't beg because I'm a working man. And I work 2 or 3 jobs to try to get beyond this boundary they put in front of us, but they just keep stacking the cards. And I need the people. But I know the people need this truth. Ain't nobody trying to tell our people the truth. They're trying to keep our people in the cloud. Why should you go hungry because you haven't started your own business? You see that this stock market is falling. Am I right? The stock market is falling, brothers and sisters. Soon it's going to be dead, and if we don't have something in place, we're not going to have anything. We need something in place for ourselves. And this is what we're building. And don't forget, the first week in August, we're going to be in Detroit. We're going to be in Detroit, so we'll get a chance to start getting around. Get us to come to your town. Get us to come to your town. Let us come out and build the people. Give them ideas for independence and entrepreneurship and build the people up so that they can do the same thing, and we'll be ready. We'll be ready when the white man is fully fallen. We'll be ready to take our stand and build up the black community, black business, both black Christian and black Muslim, building up our communities and making money from it and employing our people. That should be our goal. We look like fools asking the white man for jobs. He ain't going to hire us. And he's not wrong. It's us that's wrong that feel like that he should hire us. The same devil that put you in slavery and causing you trouble every day, killing you every day, and you think that this man wants to hire you, or you feel comfortable going to this man. Come on, brothers and sisters. We got to be smarter than that. We're in the war now. The only difference is that we haven't started participating. We're in the race war now. And it's time for us to start building up our communities and building up some soldiers to keep that, to fight for it, to defend it. It's time for that. So, brothers and sisters, I'm not going to hold you anymore. I appreciate it. I thank you for coming to the show. I thank God for you. And I pray, God, that all that you do is blessed. And I say unto you, peace be unto you, brothers and sisters. I leave you in peace. I come in peace, and I leave you in peace. And I say peace be unto us all. Because we are all fighting, right? This beast that stands in front of us every day and is killing us every day, we're fighting. But the best way for us to fight is to have our own and to continue to create our own. So be at peace, brothers and sisters, because God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love, of power, and a sound mind. Isn't that right? God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love, of power, and of a sound mind. And we have a sound mind, right? We understand what's going on, right? We got to understand what's going on. Once we understand what's going on, then we can have a sound mind. When we don't understand what's going on, we're not going to have a sound mind. We'll be in confusion. And the reason why many of us are in confusion today is because we don't understand what's going on. We think that that man love us and he don't love us. White man don't love us. He hates us with a vengeance. With a vengeance, proof of which he's killing us every day. He is literally killing us every day. So that should tell you that he don't love us. He has no love for you and I. But I'm so glad, brothers and sisters, and you should be glad too, that our Savior has indeed come. Our Savior has come. You should be happy that our Savior has come. So brothers and sisters, that makes me happy. It makes me rejoice that our Savior has come. We don't serve a dead Savior, but we serve a live one. Don't forget to support us, brothers and sisters, with everything that you do. Please support us because we definitely need your support. We need you to send blessings with the Cash App. We need you to purchase books or tell someone else. Tell someone else about it so they can support as well. So we can keep putting out this truth. That's what it's about. To keep putting out the truth, to tell the truth, and to shame the devil. That's what it's about. And so that's what we're praying for. We're praying that God will continue to encourage and build us all, that we'll be able, brothers and sisters, that we'll be able to experience this peace. And what a day it would be. What a day it would be. So I leave you, as I come to you, I leave you in peace and encouragement and tell you to be strong and continue to build up yourself and one another for the great day that when God has released these things to us, we'll be able to go farther. You and I, be able to go further in this promise that God has given us. So peace be unto you, brothers and sisters. Peace be unto you. I salute you. I salute you. As I started in the beginning, so I do in the end. I salute you, and I say unto you, peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum.